I'm going to show you how to record your Mininova into Ableton Live. By the end of this video, you'll be able to start making quick, basic recordings of your own. First, let's look at how to connect the Mininova. You'll need to connect the Mininova to your computer via USB for power. We also need to connect the audio outputs to the input of an audio interface on your computer. This is because the Mininova doesn't have a built-in audio interface and it can't transmit audio via USB. The Mininova outputs are line level, so you should connect to line inputs on your interface, like this. Now, power on your Mininova. When you play a note on the Mininova, you want to see a nice, healthy signal. If you need more level, try turning up master volume or your input gain. We can see by the green lights on the Focusrite 2i2, there's a good level here. Not too high so as to clip digitally and distort the sound. Now let's look across the computer and open Ableton Live. First of all, we want to open the Ableton Preferences MIDI Sync tab. You should turn on these ports to enable the MIDI input and output from the Mininova. We also need to enable the sync output so we can sync via MIDI clock if needs be. It's also worth checking at this point that you've got your audio settings set up correctly in the audio tab. First of all, let's look at using our Mininova to control a MIDI track. As you can see, our Mininova is available here in our MIDI inputs, so if we record and enable our MIDI track, you can see the MIDI is played and the Mininova is playing sound. To record this sound, set an audio track's input to match the inputs you've connected the Mininova to. Now, when I record and enable this track and play the Mininova, I can see the audio is input to the track. I'll set monitor to auto here so I can hear the Mininova sound from Ableton. So far, we can see both our MIDI and audio data coming from our Mininova into Live. Next, let's load the Mininova editor onto our MIDI track. This message shows that the editor doesn't output any audio. The editor is just a remote control for the Mininova. In the editor, you can modify all parameters of your Mininova patch and use it to change patches on the fly. You can see we can edit the oscillators, mixer, filter and modulation effects settings with these tabs on the left, and then in the section on the right we can edit any of the parameters on the Mininova itself. Now, let's get some audio recorded from the Mininova. To do this, with the audio and MIDI tracks record enabled, hit the clip record buttons in Live. We need both the MIDI and audio tracks record enabled. Now, I'm happy with that sound, so I can save it by hitting the Send to Librarian button in the Mininova editor. I can then save and rename the patch in the librarian. Now, when I change patch in the editor, record a new sound, I know my old patch is always saved. I can get back to it using the librarian. Now I can start layering my own sounds up and recording my own patches into Live. I hope this video has been useful for you, and if you're still having problems, get in touch via the support link on our website.